Good afternoon, garden fans, and welcome to episode 4 of the Soup Garden Diaries. The lurgy has hit the vicarage this week, so confined even more to quarters. I hope that lots and lots of gardening is going to be happening over the next few days. And it needs to, because you will see that everything is bursting into life. The flowers are coming out, seeds are sprouting out of the ground and growing quickly. And we're getting to the point where lots of them will need thinning out and planting and moving to their permanent homes. The unseen enemy has been rather naughty this week, as you will see as well, so we're going to have to think of some clever ways to foil him or her. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoy this week's Garden Diaries. So here we are on this beautiful spring day out in the front garden, and there's quite a lot going on in this bed here. But the most exciting thing are the potatoes starting to rear their not ugly heads. That's a second earlies. The second early potatoes are in there, but they're competing, as are all the beds, with this stuff. It's ground elder, which apparently some people can eat. I don't fancy eating it myself. I just spent my whole life digging it up and failing to pull it up there. I'll have to go back and get the roots. So that's one of the two nemeses that we've got at the moment. Moving over towards the broad beans, which are doing really, really well. The netting has kept them safe from the unseen enemy so far, and they've got lots of beautiful flowers on them. Lots are really starting to either come into bud or to flower, getting quite tall and bushy. Oh, where are we going? Oh, to look at some more buds. They're nice. There's two varieties or three varieties of broad bean. See, these ones down here are a bit shorter. I'm presuming that means that they're going to give us beans later. That sounds kind of technical garden, maybe. But peas, these are exciting. These are had a really scraggly start, but they're starting to grow a lot. This one has a beautiful purple flower, which I think is really stunning. And oh golly, the camera's really shaky. Can't hold it very still. And oh, look, a lovely white flower on the peas. So that's exciting too. The peas look like they are getting ready to do something pea-like. Onions are still there. Oh, there's my shadow. It's exciting. Not really. That's some beet that we can eat the leaves of. More onions in this bed here, and in the middle of that bed we're going to put some sorrel, which you'll see in the moment. But unseen enemy has been here again, and he's been digging right next to where I planted out the tiny chives, the ones that were in the house. They were going to go outside, and he dug, or she dug. Anyway, chives, they need watering. It's really dry, and that's a big challenge at the moment, actually, is keeping everything well watered. Really hard at the moment, especially when things are quite small and need to dry out quite quickly. There's some raspberry canes, and we are walking straight through the cherry tree over to look at the carrots, which are still there, coming close to the time when they need to be thinned out, because some of them are getting quite big. That bit of plastic bottle was what we used as a cloche, a mini greenhouse, when they were really tiny. And then over in this big pot, the Jerusalem artichokes are starting to pop up. If you can spot where it is, you don't win a prize, but you might just spot it. Back into the back garden now, and the second of our main crop potatoes, the second variety, again, I've forgotten, I'm not very good at remembering those. They are just starting to come up. They've been a bit slower, but they are there now. And if we come over to the bin where you can see, they're called Sunset. These are going crazy. So I've already built up the soil in here a couple of times. But you can see how much they're growing, and the soil's now up to about halfway up the bin, maybe a bit more. So I'll keep building it up as time goes on, and hopefully the potatoes will be able then to grow all the way down the bin. These are the first earlies. I'm a bit worried they might not have enough room in there, but that's where they are now, so nothing we can do about it. Lettuce in the top. There's really beautiful variegated leaves. They're going to be thinned out soon as well, because they're starting to get quite big. What are we doing? Oh, we're getting a nice close-up of it. They're nice. That's some glass. I don't know why that's interesting, but must have thought it was. Unseen enemy. Right, rewind. This is what one of the strawberries looked like a few days ago. It was beautiful, just starting to go pink, sitting there in the sun, getting plump and juicy, and I was starting to get really excited about eating it with maybe some cream. So we come back to the present day. Unseen enemy, the little has taken it off of the plant, taken a bite of it, decided it didn't like it anymore, and left it there. So we are going to have to come up with some kind of unseen enemy protection urgently. In fact, I've ordered some netting that will foil it. Right, here we go through the laundry. It's a nice drying day. Soup kitchen tea towels. Over to, oh, my finger, sorry. Rainbow chard. You can tell it's the rainbow chard because it has lovely tiny little red stems, helpful for identification. They are growing in half of that row. And then this row over here is our spinach. It's a variety called Matador. And that's doing quite well, actually. That's starting to grow quite a lot. And then to the other half of the chard row, if I just uncover the stem a bit, you can see they've got really nice yellow stems. In fact, I think this one is better. Yes, beautiful golden stems, because they're called golden chard. There you go. But this bed is full of little seedlings from the tree in the back garden. So another job for this week is to pull all them out. It's a job that when you start, you can get a bit obsessive about it. So I think I had to stop myself here. That parsley's had a big haircut. You know, everyone has to do it themselves, don't they, in isolation? Do their own haircuts. Fortunately, the parsley doesn't have street cred to keep up, so it was all right. Just hacked it with a pair of scissors. Where are we going? Unseen enemy, once more. This had all the dill in it, and unseen enemy has dug it up like 4 times this week, so I don't know. Well, my finger keeps coming in it. I don't know whether anything will sprout in terms of dill, but the kale, this is going to be a dwarf variety, so it won't grow too tall, and they are doing really well. Oh, my finger's there again. I'm a useless camera woman. Lettuce. Squash. So they've been outside for the last few nights. They've been very brave, been outside. But they are really getting to the point where they're going to have to be potted into their main pots where they're going to finish, not finish their lives, that makes it sound like I'm going to kill them, where they're going to grow, provide us with lovely things, and that's where they're going to go, on that part of the balcony there. Yes, just there, which would be good. Earlier this week, these are the basil seedlings that were in the house. Don't worry, unseen enemy hasn't been at them. I have. I've been taking them out of their egg boxes and putting them individually into little pots. Here we are with Archie showing off because he's got a new pot, feeling very pleased with himself. Here are those lovely little bits of basil, not bits, seedlings. Little seedlings. Yeah, it's not that exciting. They kind of look the same. This will be some of our courgette. Here is that sorrel that I mentioned is going to go into one of the beds outside. That's just starting to come up. And over here we've got the other courgettes. But what's really exciting about these is you're about to see their progression over 4 hours this morning. So they started off looking like this at about 9 o'clock this morning. By about 10 o'clock it was like that. By about 10:30 it stood upright. By about 11:30 it looked like that. Amazing. It's lovely and warm in the living room, that's why. Right, we're going to finish off today looking at the leeks. Some of them have wilted and died, but we should probably expect that. But actually quite a lot of them are starting to look really quite strong, and they are about to start being hardened off. They're going to start being brave and spending some time outside, ready to be planted out. That brings us, I think, to the end with that lovely view of a UPS van.